Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be telling y'all all about my October favorites. I can't even count down to Christmas anymore because that was like my thing, was counting down how many months it was till Christmas, but I can't do that because it's like Christmas season. There's already Christmas stuff out in the stores, so happy holidays, I guess. Merry Christmas. I don't know. It's right upon us. You know, I feel like the second Halloween is over, it's like, what's Thanksgiving? Let's go straight into Christmas. So I feel like quite a bit of stuff to talk about today, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start out with makeup. I've got one skincare and I've got a couple of clothing items and I have one fail. So let's just go ahead and, I just did that weird. Let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so let's go in the order of which I do my makeup, and let's start with brows. I think I have found my all-time favorite brow pencil. And I don't say that lightly because if you looked at my cup over there, I have probably 7 different brow pencils in there. I do not have very many brows. They stop growing right about there, and I have to kind of paint everything else in, plus fill in what is existing because it's just not that much. So I use quite a bit of brow pencil and brow powder every single day. It's the most important part of the face, in my opinion, and I'm very picky. I don't dislike the Anastasia. I don't dislike the NYX. I really liked the Catrice one, but I will tell you, it lasted me like a week. So literally a week, and that's the biggest complaint on the reviews because it was so soft, which I like in a pencil. I don't want it to be too hard or waxy because I am having to use it so much and draw so much on, it can almost hurt my face if it's too hard. But the Catrice was so soft, it just did not last at all. All this to say, I tried this from BH Cosmetics, and it is wonderful. And it is the HD Brow Pencil. I got the color Blonde, which, got thumb holes, so one of the reasons I like this so much, because if you can see, that's the color Blonde, is that so many other blonde pencils are like non-existent. And I liked that this was a darker blonde, so it shows up a lot easier. And honestly, I can do my brows in like 2.5 minutes now. It just makes it so easy. It's the perfect kind of marriage between a harder pencil and a softer pencil. It just works. It's $7 at Ulta. I would wait until they're like buy one, get one half off, or use a 20% off coupon. I just bought like 2 or 3 with my 20% off because I needed them. I had points. I didn't pay for any of that order anyways, and I wanted to make sure I had backups because they are that good. Okay, so let's talk about complexion. Let's talk about foundation. I have really been like, well, okay, let me say. Up until I bought this foundation, I had really been using what I had because y'all know I'm trying not to buy a ton of makeup lately. But this was one of the 2 makeup products that I bought in the Sephora Friends and Family sale. I had gone through a whole bottle of it, and it had been a while, and I wanted to kind of resurrect my love for it. And it's the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Foundation Fluid, y'all. I don't have it on today. I don't have any of the makeup on today because I just filmed a Shop My Stash video. And it just worked out my schedule like that. But I did use this in my last most requested eye look. So you can go check it out there. It's so good. I get the most compliments when I wear this. It just, I feel like looks the perfect amount of luminous throughout the day. It doesn't get too luminous, but it looks like healthy skin. It's a solid medium coverage. I think you can build it up to full if you want to, but I don't choose to because I like a good medium. And I feel like my skin actually does better over time with this foundation. I don't know if it just really likes argan oil or what, but it's so good. And I will say that I have had people who tell me they have oily skin love this. So I would not be scared of it if I were you, if you have oily skin, because it has oils in it. Because really the oils in it will help combat the oils in your skin. I would at least get a sample of it. It's so good. I'm in the color Mystical RG30. I believe in the summer, or my last bottle, I was in the color Adventurous. Both work fine. This is a neutral tone. It's a mix of pink and yellow because I just didn't want anything too golden. I love this. So go check out that video if you haven't, if you want to see what it looks like on the skin. But it just is perfection. And I will say that after I got it, I wore, so in 3 weeks, I wore foundation 2 other days other than this. The rest of the time I wore this. I went on vacation. This is the only foundation that I took. It's the only one I wore. I love it. And to go along with it, I will say that the one concealer that I've been using the most lately is the Vibrancy Concealer. I don't think I've talked much about this, but I've had it for like 3 months. Probably, when have I had it? I got it, yeah. So I got it in the appreciation sale in August. So I've been using it since then. So I guess 2 months. But either way, I've been using it the majority of that time. I did take my First Aid Beauty Avocado Concealer with me on vacation. That's the only one I took. But other than that, I have been wearing this. I also wore this and used it in that most requested eye look video if you want to see how it looks. But it just has, it's very hydrating. I feel like it doesn't look matte under the eyes, but it's also doesn't have like a sheen to it. I just feel like it looks natural, and I don't want anything that's super matte. It doesn't crease throughout the day. I don't feel like it cakes up, even though sometimes I do feel like I have put too much on. It doesn't show, I guess I should say, in the aftermath of putting my makeup on. It doesn't look like I have too much on. So honestly, I think if you have more mature under eyes, or if you are just wanting something that is not drying, it's hydrating, it's a solid medium coverage, I really find that I can get a full coverage out of this. But again, I don't really want a full coverage. So one little, you know, coating of my under eyes is perfectly fine for me. But I'm in the color Light, and it's so good. I don't know what the shade range is like, because again, I just ordered it offline and I'm typically always light, but I think there's only like maybe 7 colors. I don't know how drastic the colors are though. So, okay, so those are the 2 complexion products. I will talk about a powder that I have absolutely been loving, and it is the Lawless Seal the Deal Loose Setting Powder. This is the second of 2 makeup products that I bought in the Friends and Family sale with the foundation. And I will say that there's a little bit, I don't want to say learning curve, but there's a little bit of trick for me to use this. I do love using it with my Sephora 98 highlighter brush. Let me grab it real quick. This one, the Pro Highlight, because I think that you can put too much on. It does tend to make my face lighter. So I'm in the color Classic Translucent. And when I first put it on, I kind of felt a little ghostly. But I will say that throughout that day, I felt like it sunk in, and my natural, you know, even though I'm not oily, we all have natural oils that come through somewhat, kind of mixed with it, made it look a lot better. It made it look more true to my skin tone, and overall just looked really good. It didn't look like powder at all. So the next day, I didn't spray my face that day, but the next day I sprayed it, and that helped kind of speed up the process of getting to where I wanted it to be. So it's still pretty light when I put it on. I know that Annie Lawless suggests putting it on with a beauty blender because that's how she does it. I've tried that. I didn't like it. I really like this brush because it puts just the perfect amount on. But once I spray it, I will either go in lately with my Jane Iredale Palm Mist or my Color Science Hydrating Setting Mist. And once I spray those on, it kind of sinks in, and it really does look so gorgeous on the skin. It's not luminous. So many powders coming out lately have that luminosity to it, and I don't want that every day. This is, it's just very, I don't want to say skin-like because rarely is a powder skin-like, but it sinks into your skin so much that it does not look like you have powder on, but it does the job of setting the foundation. So these 2 together have been what I have been wearing most of the month, the Josie, Maran, and the Lawless. I just love the combination, but I've tried it with other foundations too, and it works just as well. So again, I have the Classic Translucent in that powder. Okay, this is the last makeup item, and this is new for me, so I'm kind of cheating, but I've had it for like 5 days, and up until today, I've worn it all those days. And it is the Laura Mercier Blush Color Infusion in Pink. This was sent to me by Laura Mercier and Octoly, and it's gorgeous. Okay, so these are sheer buildable blushes. And at first I didn't know if I was gonna like that, but I love it because it goes on sheer but buildable. So if I don't want to have a ton of blush on that day and just want a nice color, then that's perfect. I just put a little bit on. But if I want to have more color, I add on to it. And I tend to have a heavy hand when it comes to blush. So this just makes it to where I really don't have to buff out as much when I use this color. I believe on the Sephora website, it is described as a shimmer finish. I don't find that there's any shimmer in it. I really don't. I don't even really see that there's a sheen. Maybe a slight, but I don't know. That's the color right there. Maybe, if you look in the lights, has a little bit of a slight sheen. I don't know, but it's not shimmery by any means. So if you are not a fan of shimmery blushes, you won't have to worry about that with this one. But if you are a fan of shimmery blushes, this is not going to be shimmery enough. How many times can I say shimmery? Shall we say it one more time? No, we shall not. I love this blush. I think it's gorgeous. I really want some other colors, but I don't need any other colors. So it's going to be a while before I purchase any more because I have so many blushes and I have so many blushes that I love. But I am very glad that I got this. And if you are in the market for a new blush and you want one that's not overly pigmented, why did I say that so well? Weird. If you don't want one that's overly pigmented, this is the blush for you. Love that one. I think I had it on in my last, the Makeup Artist must-haves. I had that one on, so if you want to see what it looks like. All right, so that is all the makeup except for the one fail that I'm going to talk about at the end. The one skincare product I'm going to talk about is actually part of a set. You can only buy it as part of a set. I'm only hoping it's going to be permanent, but it is the Beautycounter Instant Glow Illuminating Cream. So it comes in the Awakening Trio set, which also has the overnight peel and some eye masks. I already knew I loved the overnight peel and I do like the eye mask, but this is the standout from the set because it's limited. You can only get it, like I said, in the set. It is so gorgeous and I use it in such a variety of ways. So I will mix it with my moisturizer. I will use it as my moisturizer. I have used it mixed in with my foundation. Specifically my Osmosis Satin Performance Wear, if I feel like it's a little thicker, I will do like half a pump of that and a pump of this, mix it together, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't give like an intense glow, but it's just a nice sheen to the skin. Can you see that? It's super hydrating though. It sinks in really well, and I, again, love it with foundation. So I also posted a picture on my other Instagram that I'll include somewhere in here. It's like cooling. It has a cooling sensation. Where I had got my hair done that morning, I never wear makeup to get my hair done because they just wash it off when they wash my hair anyways. And I came home and I just felt my skin was a little dull, a little blah. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I took 2 pumps of this and just put it on my face as it was. And I took a picture on Instagram to show it just really livened my face up so much. So that's another way that I use it. And then another way that it can be used is a very good friend of mine who actually loves Beautycounter so much she signed on to be a consultant, texted me 2 days ago saying that she was trying out this foundation. She got a sample of it at Sephora and she didn't really like it. Halfway through the day, she was not liking how it was laying on her skin. So she took a pump of this and patted it on top of her foundation. And she said it completely fixed everything she wanted to be fixed with the foundation. So you can also apply it on top of your makeup because she said it was absolutely wonderful that way. So honestly, this is just all in all a wonderful product. It's very sleek looking. It's clean. Beautycounter, I mean, they use only clean ingredients. So you don't have to worry about that. And I've just absolutely been loving that, again, for a variety of ways. I get into this is gonna be a long video. It's always a long video. Before I get into a couple of fashion pieces and a couple of books and a couple of TV shows, I am going to talk about my fail, and it has to be, unfortunately, the Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. I believe I had this on in my makeup artist video. I got this, it's a deluxe sample. It came in some kind of gift with purchase. I don't know. It didn't work for me. It was nothing like my Bare Minerals. It was nothing like everybody else says it was. And when I went to go take it off, there are certain mascaras that when I use eye makeup remover to take it off, it's nothing but a ton of flakes all over my eye, and it takes forever for me to get all those flakes off. That happened with this. Like, it doesn't, with my Bare Minerals, it just comes off. It doesn't flake. So it just wasn't all it's cracked up to be. I know a ton of people have said that it's like the best mascara they've ever used. I just don't get that. Again, a lot of the stuff that I love, other people don't, and vice versa. But for me, this just didn't work out. So unfortunately, it was a fail. I'm glad I have it because when I do my full face of Hourglass, I didn't have a mascara. So I will use it in that video. But overall, it was definitely not my favorite. All right, a couple of fashion pieces per se, because y'all, okay, if you don't know, this is my fashion right here. Like, I have on an Under Armour sweatshirt and some black leggings today. I love me some ripped jeans. I love me some tennis shoes. I have like probably more tennis shoes than I do heels. I do love heels, but I just don't go places enough to warrant wearing them that much. So my style is very, I think they have a word for it now that makes it sound so much more glamorous. Athleisure. That's my style. Athleisure. Yeah, I just like leggings and tennis shoes. So, because I love my ripped jeans, I got a new pair of jeans from Express, and I have to show them to you. It's going to be really hard to tell because I don't think I have a picture of me in them to insert, but they are the, let me see what kind they are. Ultimate Stretch Ankle Legging Mid-Rise. Okay, and they're just ripped, regular ripped jeans. I like the color of them. They're a little bit lighter than most of the jeans I have because I tend to gravitate more towards like deeper colors, darker washes, but I like the rips because it's not too much, but they're obviously are there as well. Now, one of the reasons I like them the most is the bottoms. If you can see, I love a frayed ripped bottom. Love it. It's my favorite way to have jeans. So that's why I picked these up to get. And when I tried them on, the reason I love these so much is because they are not a super tight, skinny bottom. So they kind of flare out a little bit. So it almost gives like a boyfriend jean vibe. That makes any kind of sense. So I like to wear these with flats versus like booties or even like knee-high boots or anything like that because they are a little wider at the bottom so they don't like tuck into boots that well. But with flats or tennis shoes, I love them because they just, I don't know, they have a very relaxed look to them. I got a size 4. I could have gone down to a 2 because these do have a little bit of room in them, but I chose not to because it's winter and I am definitely not losing weight. This is more of my like, I'm upping my calories, I'm putting some weight on so that when summer comes, it's easier to shed off. So I wanted something that was just a little bit more comfortable in the waist, and I love them. So I will try my best to find them and link them down in the description bar. These are my favorite of the favorites. Let me do a little bit of backstory with these because, you know, we have a ton of time. We've only been here 25 minutes. So a friend of mine that I went to Minneapolis with in May had these shoes on, and we were walking around downtown, and I looked down at her shoes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, those are so cute. They're flats. I'm like, and she was like, oh my goodness, they're so comfortable. They feel like tennis shoes. They are the best. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I got online to look at them, and they're $125 flats. And so I was like, I don't know about that. So I kind of forgot about them. I started following on Instagram, but other than that, I just was like, put them to the side. So when I went to my retreat in North Carolina last week, a friend of mine from there, I was strangely looking at her shoes while we were in a session, and I was like, wow, those are the same shoes my friend Mary had on. And so I went up to her and I was like, are those Rothy's? And she said, yes, they're Rothy's. I love Rothy's. And I'm like, please tell me more. So she went down to her room and she brought like 6 pairs of Rothy's out that she had. She's a half size bigger than me, but I tried them on. They were so comfortable. And I said, you know what? I'm buying them. She had a referral code that got me $20 off, which I now have too. I will put that down in the description box. It is kind of like an affiliate code. So if you use that code, you get $20 off, but then I get $20 credit to use if I want to buy another pair. There is no if. I will be buying more pairs. But if you want to use that code, just know that it's in some way an affiliate code. But it does get you $20 off. I used hers so that I could get $20 off. and I got these shoes. So these are the flats right here. I wear an 8, which looks super big when you put them up next to a head, doesn't it? But they are, so Rothy's are all flats. They have, this is their, I think their signature flat. They also have a pointed toe. They have a loafer and they have a sneaker. I will be getting some pointed toes and loafers for sure. The camo loafers are the next on my list because they are so cute. But anyways, these are the ones that I wanted. These are the exact pair that my friend Mary had on and the exact pair that Wendy had on when I asked if those were Rothy's. I don't remember. I will link, when I link it down below, I think it said gray, even though it looks kind of blue. But here's the beauty of these. Other than the fact that they are super comfortable and they really do feel equivalent to tennis shoes, they are made from recycled water bottles. How awesome is that? I am all about recycling. I am like a recycling maniac at my house. My family's like, can you give us a break? I'm like, no, you take that tiny little piece of cardboard out of that box and you put it in the recycling. I am all about recycling. So the fact that these made out of recycled water bottles is amazing. They're machine washable. They're very flexible. They're very sturdy. They're very comfortable. I can't speak enough about them. So if you are like me and you have a job where you stand on your feet all the time and absolutely cannot wear heels of any kind, or if you have arch issues or, you know, just don't like wearing heels, I highly suggest investing in a pair of these. I know you won't be disappointed. This is like my favorite purchase from the past 2 months. I cannot wait to get more. They have so many styles. They have a bright yellow color I'll be getting for the summer. Oh, they're just so pretty. You've got to check them out. So I will link that down below. Okay, I think I said that I had a book to talk about, but I think I'm going to wait because I'm not quite done with it. I'm going to wait till next month because I have a feeling I'm going to end up reading the whole series. But let me talk to you really quick about 2 TV shows that I've loved. The first one I meant to talk about last month, and I forgot because that's when we watched it. But it's Jack Ryan, and it's on Amazon Prime. And if you followed my book recommendations at all in the past, you know that my one of my favorite types and genres of books to read is like political spy books, like CIA, Navy SEAL type spy war type books. I just love those type of books. So Jack Ryan is based off of Tom Clancy's writings. I don't know if it's exactly based off one of his books. I've heard that it's not, but he is an author, or was an author, that wrote that kind of genre. So I was super excited to watch it, although I wasn't all that excited about the casting because John Krasinski is the main character. He plays Jack Ryan, and I just didn't think it fit, but it's actually perfect. He was perfect for the role. I loved every bit of it. It's only 8 episodes, but I'm looking forward to the second season because I think I did hear that that's definitely coming. So anyways, if you have Amazon Prime, definitely check that out. I mean, I think Chad and I watched it in like 3 nights tops. The next one we have just started watching, but I can already tell I'm going to love it. So please, if you have watched all of it, do not spoil anything for me because that would be very mean and I would never do that to you. So please don't, because I think he's like 5 episodes in. He started it without me when I was out of town, but I'm catching up. And it's called The Man in the High Castle, and it's also on Amazon Prime. And it is such a cool premise. It's all about, I think it's based, 1969, and it's all about what the country would be like if the Germans and the Japanese would have won the war. So it's kind of split in two. The eastern half of the country is the Nazi reign, and the western half of the country is the Japanese reign, and there's a little bit of space called the neutral territory in the middle. So I'm not going to tell you much more, but I highly recommend it. It's an awesome premise, and it sucked both Chad and me in, which not always, I mean, it's very rare that happens. So if I ever talk about a TV show, it's because both of us liked it, and that means it's got to be good. So I would definitely check that out. Okay, 30-minute favorites video. You gotta love it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. As always, I want to know what your favorites were in the month of October, and I will link everything down below in the description bar. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future content. And as always, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.